It is stated at the beginning of the story that the powers of heaven began to diminish many years ago. Seeing all of this, the demons attacked the gods, and there was a fierce battle in which many god demons died, but after a few years, the heaven regained its powers. Seeing this, the gods and demons decide to make peace here because many lives have been lost previously. Later, they move to a cave which they called Sunset Cave. It was like a school. The masters here train kids and teach them so that they will become God in the future. Many years passed and a boy named Erlang is shown in a flying boat, and his real name was Jian. He was a god before, but he has lost all his powers because of a few mistakes. Now he was just an ordinary bounty hunter, which means he captures the people who do wrong or are culprits. His servant tells him that soon they will get short of gas in their boat. At the same time, their phone rings. They get a task, and they have to capture a human who used to sell stolen gold in the market. His servant becomes happy to see that task, and it was the task of the place where they will reach soon. They were said to get 20 gold coins in order to capture that human. It was a small amount, but they don't even have money to have food right now. So Jian agrees to this. He takes out a small boat from his huge flying boat, then moves alone for that city. Reaching there, he searches for that human, and soon he discovers that the human used to visit the same street. Erlang sits in that street, and that human comes there with his guard. Erlang's standing there, so he asks him if he also comes here for treasure. Erlang refuses and shows him the bounty hunter's notice that he will be arrested. Seeing it, he asks his guard to attack Erlang, and he was a demon guard who attacks Alayla's with his huge axe. Erlang knows Kung Fu, and he escapes from the guard because of this skill. The human escapes from there in his flying boat to see this. Erlang is also chasing him, but he runs short of fuel on the way and he feels he wouldn't capture him. But soon Erlang's servants capture him, and they come in their huge flying ship. Erlang asks, "How did you find me?" His servant tells that your dog found your place while smelling you. Meanwhile, Erlang's dog arrives that can also adopt human getup. And she likes Erlang's. Now the man caught by Erlang asks him to leave him, and in return, he will give them 100 coins. Erlang ignores him and puts him in heaven's jail, and in return, he got 20 coins. Erlang wasn't dishonest with his job. After it, Erlang goes to his ship, and his servants tell him that there is someone who came to meet you, and when he meets that person, she was a lovely girl. That girl tells her name Luo, and says she wants you to capture a man because he stole a precious lamp of my sister. She gives Erlang many precious stones in return for this task, but Erlang ignores this. Luan tells that her sister suddenly disappeared and she only left that precious lamp in her room. The boy steals it, and Erlang asks his name, so she tells that the younger boy is named Shangxian. Erlang feels strange after hearing the name, and feels like he has heard this name before. Luo tells her address, says while leaving, "If you discover anything about that boy, come to my place to tell me." Erlang's servant says when that girl was leaving that this girl is lovely and seems rich. Why did she come to ask for help from us? We didn't even do huge tasks ever, and Erlang also starts thinking hearing this. On another side, a gas station is shown where the fuel is filled in all the flying boats. There was the boy Chino who brought his companions there and was saying that we will rob this gas station. Hearing this, they start diverting the guard's attention, and one of the Chen's companions takes all the money from the cashier, escaping from them. Chanzo goes to an underground place where a huge demon was producing this gas with a liquid. Chant ends that demon monster with his knife and keeps that liquid. Chen also releases the tiny demons, and there was a huge fight. Chan escapes in a flying boat where no one was attentive. On the other hand, Erlang's was on a teleportation port from where the humans move from one place to another. He reaches another place with all his companions and moves to the casino alone. A detective of Erlang used to work there who gives him all news. Reaching there, he asks him about songs. He gets scared to hear this because everyone was asking about him like this. He says many other dangerous people are asking about him and runs from there while pointing them. Meanwhile, Monkey arrives with its guard who was actually a criminal and used to do evil tasks. Erlang's locked this monkey in jail when he Erlang's god. And now the monkey makes fun of him and says you were a nice god before. You even tore the mountain with the help of your third eye. But now you are just an ordinary bounty hunter. The monkey tells everyone that this man who is sitting here was a great god before, but now he is just an ordinary bounty hunter. And they all ask where his power's gone. He tells everyone that 12 years ago, his sister married a human even being a god. That was against heaven's rules, and after it, Erlang's imprisoned his sister in a mountain. His sister attacked him with a magical lamp before being imprisoned, with which he lost his third eye. That's why he lost all his powers. And the monkey was about to attack Erlang's through its monkey guard, because when Erlang's was god, he teased that monkey a lot. Meanwhile, two powerful brothers arrive, finding a Shangxiang. They work for money, and someone has given them money to find a Shangxiang. They scare and make that monkey and its guard flee. After it, they come to Erlang and say, we hear you were talking about Shangxiangs. He says yes, but they say we are also searching for that boy, and it will be good for you to stay away from him. Erlang ignores them and leaves the casino. Moving out, he sees Jian, who was escaping from his own companions. His companions surround Azon. And Okezenzelid later says our companions died at that station because of you. I heard that you stole a special kind of liquid from there. Look, give it to me, otherwise we will end you. Hearing this, Jian asks who told you this, and the monkey arrives with its demon monkey guard. He says yes, I have told them because that monkey was at the gas station that day and saw Jian stealing that liquid. Jian was about to fight with them while taking out his knife, but he sees Erlang. He makes him hold the magical liquid and starts fighting with his companions. His companions were about to attack Erlang. But he says, stop, I don't even know this boy. Even then they were attacking him, and the monkey escapes being scared. Has told them everything. Chanzi competes all his companions and ends his leader in the end. Erlang says you shouldn't end your leader, but Chuan says he will make my condition worse if I wouldn't end him. After it, he asks for his magical liquid from him, and Erlang gives him that liquid. He discovers he is in Shangxian. He says I am given a contract just to capture you suddenly. His attention diverts, and shaped from there, the powerful brothers also come there, and seeing marks on the leader's body, they understand Jian has ended him. As there were Chen's knife marks on his body, they ask Erlang about it, but he says he escaped from here. Why or behind him? I am not understanding this, but the powerful brothers say, just ask this from your master. Jian is also his student, and hearing this, Erlang gets surprised because he doesn't know anything about it. The next day, Erlang comes to his school where his master was, who trained the kids to be God. He meets his master and he starts talking to Erlang. We discover that 12 years ago, Erlang has imprisoned another thing in the mountains along with his sister. It was released many years ago. Heaven has lost its powers, and it can happen even now, with which a war between demons and gods can be started again. The master talks to Erlang furthermore and asks, is your third eye fine? Erlang says no, and the master says, maybe there will be a magical power that can make your third eye fine. Erlang asks his master about Chen, but the master's servant tells him that Chenin is his sister's son, and you've brought him here, but Erlang becomes surprised because he has never seen Chen. The master says you didn't remember this because This is an incident of 12 years ago when Chen was younger. He was a few months old when you brought him here, and I kept him, but I didn't know he would end as your senior student and become a killer. The master then sends Erlang with his servant to show him the dead body of that student. Reaching there, Erlang sees a strange mark on that student's body and discovers from the servant that Chen is with a man now who was before a god. He was against some rules here. That's why the master terminated him from the school. Moreover, he tells Chen stole this student's magical lamp while leaving. Erlang wasn't understanding anything, because that lovely girl Wanlu said that lamp belonged to her sister. On another side, the god is shown who is thrown out of heaven. Chen comes to him and tells that he stole that liquid. He says, now you have to find out that lamp, its parts, and then you can complete it. Chen tells that god that last night he met a man named Erlang, and he tells him that man is actually your mother's brother. He is that human who imprisoned your mother in those mountains, and he gets shocked to hear this. He tells him that he has broken that magical lamp of your mother into pieces and threw them far. If you will join its pieces, you can release your mother with its help, and tells that the Heaven Master isn't a good human. He talks about goodness and humanity but doesn't follow them. I will take revenge on him because he terminated me from that heaven school. But Chen asks, why is Erlang behind me? He tells that lamp will work with the body part or blood of your mother, and you carry his sister's blood. On the other side, Erlang is shown on his way to meet Wanluo. She was dancing at a place in front of everyone because she was a dancer. Afterward, he meets Wanluo and says, you said that the magical lamp belongs to your sister, but it actually belonged to a student of my school. Wanluo says, it's better if you don't discover a few things, and traps him in her magical mirror's imaginary world. Erlang sees his mother in those imaginations, and she was asking him to release his sister from the mountain. We learn here that Erlang has opened that mountain once before, waking up, but Wanluo has left. She wrote Chen's address on a paper for him, and with its help, Erlang reaches there and sees Chen in a small broken boat who was planning to find out the magical lamp. Erlang arrives and says, you shouldn't have ended that student. Chen says, you are concerned about that student. You never asked about me. That student used to beat me daily and didn't even let me eat food. That's why I cut him off. Meanwhile, the powerful brothers who were looking for Chen arrive, and they come here to arrest Chen. Seeing them, Erlang asks Chen to escape, but then he sees a map of the lighthouse sketched on a paper. He discovers that Chen will find out that magical lamp from here, and the powerful brothers say, Erlang, we asked you to stay away. Otherwise, it will not be good, but you didn't refrain and come here. Erlang says, I will keep doing my work. And it makes them furious, so they take out their magical weapons. They have a magical umbrella and a guitar with which they were attacking Erlang. He was trying to escape and even blows his magical whistle, and with its help, he was escaping from their attack. Meanwhile, their third brother arrives with an animal, and they capture Erlang with the help of that animal. He was thrown in Heaven's jail while accusing him that he has helped a murderer to escape. They were doing this so Erlang will not interrupt their task, and sees the man who steals the treasure, but he ignores him and lays down calmly. Meanwhile, his servants attack that jail. Afterward, Erlang and that man both escape while trapping the guards, and now they leave in their boat. The jail's guard, who was a dragon, was trying to stop them, but they escaped. On another side, Chen is shown with the old god, and he was with his tiger. They come closer to the lighthouse because they discover that the magical lamp is there. The fourth brother of those powerful brothers was waiting for Chen. They don't want Chen to open the Gate of Mountains while joining the lamp pieces and releasing his mother. The old god was trying to fight with the fourth brother, but he was powerful and dominant over God's powers. Chen secretly tries to get that lamp, but the fourth brother takes out the shadow of his powerful soul, and it was not letting him reach that lamp. The god also takes out his magical soul. and they were attacking each other. The god, along with his tiger, gets injured in this fight. Jian also takes out the magical soul out of his body, and the fourth brother gets shocked to see how Jian can take out his magical soul at this age. God has ended that man, and after it, Jian takes that magical lamp. Meanwhile, many swords attack them, and the magical lamp starts shining with the help of the thread tied to his hand and throws the swords far that were attacking Jian. The swords were again moving to Jian, and this time, God was trying to stop them with all his powers. He makes Jian run from there, and the powerful brothers also arrive there along with a man who was controlling those magical swords and who sent them behind Jian. Who was he? We will know this further. He makes a huge magical sword while collecting all of them. Then he attacks God with that sword. Later, the brothers left and his tiger was trying to save its owner with its powers. At that time, someone else arrives and makes both of them injured badly. Erlang also arrives there, and he asks God about Jian. He tells Jian has left, but Erlang sees weird marks on that god's body. He asks him about those marks, but before he tells him anything, he dies along with his tiger as they were badly injured. On another side, the man who sells the stolen treasure takes Erlang and his companions to a secret teleportation. Erlang has to go somewhere from here, but he can't use that teleport. The man who steals treasure takes the precious stone from Erlang's given by Wanluo's and gives them to the guard. After it, he opens that path, and with its help, Erlang reaches another world. The place where Erlang arrives through the port was completely destroyed, or in a house. He sees light and he starts moving towards that house. There was our Luo, and an A-chain has also brought all pieces of the magical lamp to Onluo. She joins all the pieces and a weird light comes out of it. While doing this, she calls Erlang. She discovers that Erlang was hearing them secretly, and here he tells Chain a whole story. He tells that his mother has imprisoned a flying soul phoenix spirit in a mountain, but it was powerful. Because of it, many years ago, the powers reduced from heaven, which causes a fight between gods and demons. To imprison the flying spirit, your mother jumped into that mountain and asked me to shut the gate. When I shut it down with the help of my third eye, I lost all my powers. I knew my sister has a son and I gave him to my schoolmaster. But Orsen says if this is true, then why you didn't meet me ever? He says the master forbade me to meet you until you get elder. Chene asks, Onluo's, is this true? And Lanx becomes surprised to hear this. Onluo tells yes, I am a good friend of your sister, and takes them to a place from where the mountain was visible to tell the truth, in which there was the phoenix soul and Simne's mother's soul were imprisoned. Onluo tells your master has imprisoned that phoenix. It is not true that it gives powers to heaven, but the master takes the real powers. That's why he has imprisoned that phoenix. But Erlang says no, this is not true, and you know many years ago heaven lost its powers because of it. Moreover, she tells your master is behind this. He is the one who doesn't want to release that bird's soul because he got powers from it. Erlang doesn't believe all this and says I will discover all this from my sister, and he asks to take Chana with him, but Onluo forbids Chana while saying no, you will not take him to your master. Onluo just wants that mountain to be open, in which Chan's mother was imprisoned. But when she forbids is a go, Erlang says I doubt you are lying. Meanwhile, Onluo attacks him with her magical thread and forbids him to leave. Erlang discovers this and says, you are lying. I know that you have ended the god and his tiger. Chen gets shocked to hear this. He asks Onluo why you've ended both of them. Even you have ended my senior, then why am I blamed for this? She tells, many years ago, the master terminated the god from heaven, and then your mother also imprisoned in that mountain. After it, he meets me and we decided that we will use you. You are the only one who can light up that magical lamp. She tells when I discover a student teases you, I put him in a coma with my magic, getting a chance from it. Everyone felt he died. And after it, the god met you and he told you how you can bring that magical lamp. But when you go to bring it, those powerful brothers attack there, and the master also attacked the god. He was suffering from pain, and I ended him so that he will not bear pain. Hearing this, Erlang starts attacking her and says, you shouldn't do this. And Jian takes out his magical soul with the help of the magical lamp. He can't stop it for a long time and gets faint. Wanluo also runs from there. When Orshao awakes, the thread was missing from his hand, and Erlang says while showing him the thread that your mother made it with her hairs. Moreover, he says let us move to the mountains and find out the truth. Who is saying the truth? So, gets ready to go. They start their travel by walking, and Anton also learns his kung fu while moving with him. They reach Osan's mother's house, and there were all toys of Osan. Seeing them, he becomes sad. Erlang opens a secret door with his hand and takes Cheno to the mountain with that door. There was his mother imprisoned, and his axe was also there with which he imprisoned the phoenix years ago. He finds the phoenix wings coming out. And Erlang starts believing Wanluo told him that the phoenix will release itself gradually. He finds someone sitting far, and when he goes closer, she was in Wanluo. Someone has imprisoned her. Erlang goes near her to release her, but Wanluo says don't come to me. This is a trap. But it was too late. Erlang was stuck in a trap, and the powerful brothers also arrive, who were hidden there. They capture Jian. Here it discovers when Erlang was younger that Phoenix was imprisoned in another mountain. The Phoenix wants to come out at that time. But Erlang's mother sacrificed, like his sister, and locked herself in the mountain. Here, the man is shown about whom Wanluo's told that means the master was behind all this. Locked in a magical circle, Erlang asks him why he imprisoned him here. Anyone can turn into ashes here soon. The master tells him you released the phoenix with the magical lamp in order to release your mother many years ago. After it, there was destruction and a huge fight among gods and demons. That's why heaven lost its powers. And when your sister again imprisoned herself with Phoenix while jumping in the mountain. After it, heaven got its powers back. Now, I don't want your sister's son to release this Phoenix to release his mother, and heaven will lose its powers again. But hearing this, Wanluo says you should find another way. She says you always imprison a lady from Erlang's family with the Phoenix, even though this Phoenix will be free someday, but the master doesn't listen to them and imprisons them along with Akshay. The powerful brothers were also attacking them, but to stop their attack, Sun makes a shield with that magical lamp. Erlang's and Wanluo still supporting him. Meanwhile, the wing of the Phoenix makes a cut in the magical circle. Now they all were free, and seeing the power of the Phoenix, he holds its wing and opens his third eye with its power. Elena again becomes God and says to his master, I will not let you end people without any reason. Erlang, who has become God, now takes out his magical soul out and ends the powerful brothers, and they all take out their magical souls that makes Erlang injured, and he falls at a distance. He doesn't lose courage and picks up his magical axe with the help of his third eye. After it, he ends the master and the powerful brothers in a jerk, being furious. He remembers the moments spent with his master when he was ending him. Erlang has ended those powerful brothers and his master. After it, Chen and Andaloro also released from the magical circle. They see the magical wings of the phoenix, and Erlang asks, Cheno opened the mountain gate while giving him the magical lamp. As I know, this phoenix will be released one day, then he opens the mountain with his power. With it, they fall down, and Ancients was finding his mother. and soon he sees his mother. He wants to hug his mother. But this doesn't happen. It was just his mother's soul, and Chen's mother becomes sad to see her brother and son after years and asks her brother to take care of her son while leaving. She leaves after saying this, and Jian was weeping a lot while seeing the soul of his mother leaving. Erlang says to Chen that your mother's soul got peace and she has left. This story ends here. The criminal monkey is shown in the end, telling this story of belongs to a boy while sitting like I told you. Here this movie concludes.